Before we start this video, I'd like to thank Skylar M., one of my True Believer patrons on Patreon, for requesting this video. If you'd like to request a video, head on over to patreon.com/thebirdman to find out how. And if you haven't seen the previous video in this series, follow the link on your screen or click the link in the description or pinned comment below. So, this is one of those old CinemaSins videos that were super short and used a terrible stock dinging sound. Incidentally, this is also one of those videos past Birdman did and never released. You mean me before I used better microphones and had an existential crisis? Exactly! In fact, this entire video is being recorded with a Blue Yeti, the microphone we started this series with. Except this part. This part is being recorded with the Neumann. Anyway, enjoy PB taking on old school CinemaSins. Wait. Should he be PB? No, you idiot. You're PB. That's the problem with these ridiculous naming conventions. There are only 26 letters in the alphabet. All right, OB then. Yeah, that's right. Original Birdman. No, motherfucker. Old Birdman. Enjoy.
He's in the black Audi.
Obvious Audi product placement within the first 3 minutes.
But that isn't how product placement works, Jer. You don't yell out the name of the product you're trying to place unless it's for a joke. All Miss Moneypenny is doing here is explaining the description of a getaway car to an operative. Things like that are kinda important.
This is the exact same setting from Taken 2. That's not exactly something to be proud of.
What's wrong with Istanbul? It's a beautiful city and a pretty dope country. Their only problem is they don't like Thanksgiving, which is technically a win, because I don't much care for it either.
You both know what's at stake here. We cannot afford to lose that.
Is M the worst micromanager in history?
No, that would be EA. Don't play their games. Stick with Naughty Dog and CD Projekt Red. They would never micromanage and or f things up. Trust me on this one.
VW Beetles.
I'm pretty sure this girl's only in this movie to say the names of the sponsoring companies.
No, she's only in this movie because she killed it in Pirates of the Caribbean in 28 Days Later, and to also let the operatives know which vehicles the fugitives are in.
Doesn't anyone operating the train know that is going down so they can stop it?
Do you mean to ask if people in the locomotive, you know, the front of the train, know what's going on in the back of the train? Have I got that right?
All train tracks have roads running alongside them for just this type of situation.
Yes, Jeremy, all train tracks have roads running alongside them. You said that like this isn't a fact or something.
This gunshot, this fall, and this drowning would definitely have killed Bond.
You know, the word drowning means to die by water suffocation. Considering he didn't die, he couldn't have drowned, you goddamn 8th grader.
Adele.
Sinning Adele.
Gee, I wonder for whom that bell tolls.
That's not a sin for the movie. That's you making an obscure joke that people would then have to go into your comment section in order to understand.
I'm sorry to have to deal with such a delicate subject at our first encounter.
What, your hairline?
Hairline jokes? In 2013? Look, LeBron is doing the best he can, and he's coming off a championship, so, cut him some slack. The stresses of carrying Chris Bosh's less than 15 points per game is getting to him. You weren't talking about LeBron, were you?
Some people think we should do more of this.
That would be me and my 27 subscribers. We are the small but hardcore CinemaSins fans that wish you would improve your product. One day, we're going to be a force to be reckoned with, so watch out.
That's dramatic and all, but are we supposed to believe England's top spy base is susceptible to a computer hack that can cause explosions?
No, we're supposed to believe that Raul Silva is just wily enough to have explosives placed in MI6. That or he's being supported by a certain Octopussy organization.
Wait, Bond is still alive? So he was really saved by those mermaids? That wasn't just a dreamy opening credit sequence?
Jeremy really expected James Bond to die 5 minutes into his own movie. That's the sin.
And now we have Heineken. Damn, this movie was paid for in full by the 22-minute mark.
I guess, but if they were really trying to do product placement here, I don't think they'd have Craig's sausage fingers covering the label.
She's the head of MI6 and someone just blew up her office, yet there's no extra security at her house or any security at all?
Well, typically security would be outside the home, and since they don't show an establishing shot here, we don't know there aren't any guards. This is an older upper-class woman. She's not going to have burly men inside her home unless she's pulling some eyes wide shut shit.
Does this guy say something to Bond, stop, wait for Bond to start doing a different exercise, and then continue talking like nothing ever happened?
No, they're having a conversation and you're just hearing those bits from that part of the conversation.
Yeah, don't kill the bad guy while he's occupied moving bodies or anything.
Well, Bond was simply staking this place out. He had no idea the guy would kill people at this moment, and as soon as he saw this, he went inside after him. He was also waiting for the killer to lead him to the sniping position. I would show footage of this, but I don't know how to record footage for movies, so you'll have to take my word on this one.
No, definitely wait until you have to perform this dangerous stunt to catch up to him.
Again, Bond is waiting for the killer to lead him somewhere. Didn't you hear what I just told you?
No, wait, I was wrong. You should wait until this guy builds his gun, then cuts the glass, then shoots this other before you do anything.
Are you deaf? I just said this is where Bond was hoping he'd lead him to. James isn't a cop. He's a special agent tasked with stopping the world from going up in flames. Sometimes people die for the greater good, like the war in Iraq.
Definitely trust any screen that has obviously been hacked and click the click here to claim your prize button.
Dude, she's like 80 years old. She's exactly the kind of person these were designed for. She probably even answers her phone when it rings.
Couldn't MI6 just issue a takedown notice to get YouTube to pull these videos?
I mean, they probably could, but you know the damage a YouTube video does in the first hour or so.
It's almost like this movie is daring us to make this video.
But if that were true, you probably wouldn't have made it, because you don't actually think.
Only a certain kind of woman wears a backless dress.
That dress is not backless, dude. It's sheer with little frilly things.
According to Wikipedia, a backless dress is simply a dress that exposes the wearer's back. Since we can actually see Severin's back, this dress is technically classified as backless.
Oh look, Oddjob came back.
That's racist.
It's hard to find this scene sexy when I'm unable to forget the preceding conversation where Bond discovered this girl was sold into the sex trade at like the age of 12.
This precludes the possibility of someone who has experienced sexual trauma recovering from that trauma. As long as she consents, what's the problem? Angry that Berenice isn't your girlfriend in the scene? Me fucking too.
Scene does not contain a lap dance.
Thankfully. I mean, who wants a lap dance from Javier Bardem? Now that one Drago dude from Game of Thrones.
Oh, there's a cracked door. Definitely means the bad guy went this way.
Well, yeah, he was right behind Silva, who suddenly disappears and there's a cracked door. I'd have checked that door myself, but that's because I used to play hide and seek in a small house with 4 younger brothers. I'm good at this game, is what I'm saying.
How is this train completely empty during rush hour?
Completely empty? This footage I captured with my Galaxy Note 3 makes you a liar.
Let's talk about Silva's plan.
No.
Somewhere we'll have the advantage.
Exactly how is it an advantage to go out to Bond's old house in Scotland in the middle of nowhere with very few weapons and no reinforcements?
Well, the advantage comes from Silva being unable to hack anything there and being exposed out in the open. If there's one place that's immune to the technology of the day, it's a fucking village in Scotland.
They sold the lot to a collector from Idaho or some such place.
Idaho is not a real place.
Neither is Tennessee, but here you are.
Well, now that I've fired 2 gunshots, I guess I'm a professional again.
With the shotgun at 50 meters away. If video games have taught me anything, it's that a shotgun would have tickled those teacups at that distance.
Killers who think they're sneaking up on Bond enter through the front gate.
This was the entire point of going to Skyfall, forcing them to do this. They literally have no other way to enter the property outside of a helicopter, which isn't at all subtle.
Man, it's amazing how much light there is down here in this water.
It's almost like there's a burning building behind them illuminating everything.